Welcome to On the Water Magazine's Fishing New England. I'm Jay Baver. Today we're taking you to Niantic, Connecticut for two unique fishing adventures. We're going to be live lining scup for striped bass and also chasing and casting for false albacore. First up, let's join On the Water Magazine's Karrie-Ann Bienas with Captain Blaine Anderson as they catch some little fish and then send them back into the depths for some big fish. Niantic, Connecticut offers some of the best saltwater fishing in New England. An easy access state boat launch with ample parking makes this multi-species fishery available to the traveling angler.
We're using three-way rigs to catch the porgy, and then we'll turn around and three-way the porgy on heavier duty gear for the stripers. Just a simple three-way rig with just enough weight to hold bottom. Right now we're only drifting at 0.9 miles an hour, so I certainly don't need much. We're in about 20 feet of water. We're just going to be drifting with the tide. Some guys anchor up. I prefer to drift using little circle hooks here. This actually is a rig made by Beyond Bait. They make premium rigs with Seagar, fluorocarbon, gamakatsu hooks, Spro swivels, great porgy rigs, blackfish rigs, and I found that these circle hooks work very well on the porgy. Once we drop down and catch them, the limits in Connecticut have changed for 2004. We're now allowed 20 fish per angler per day, which is no big deal out here, but the size limit has gone to 10.5 inches. Oh, got one right now. Fish have to be 10.5 inches to keep. This spot that we're in here has got a lot of smaller fish, which is what I'm after. I want the 10.5 to 11.5 inch fish. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get the fish that we're looking for. If we can't find them here, I've got some deeper water spots that we'll move over to and find some larger fish. But this is a sure thing here for the smaller ones. I've just got to measure this one real quick. But this is a porgy. This is exactly what we're looking for. He looks like he's going to be a little bit short, but let me check. Oh, jailbreak. He's 10.5 on the button. So that's a good fish right there. That's perfect. If I could fill the live well with these, we'll be in good shape. The gear we're using is fairly overmatched for the porgy, but today we're not really interested in sport. Just want to get the bait in the boat and go out for real fish. These can be a lot of fun to catch. Bring your kid out, your wife out, somebody who's not very familiar with fishing. You can have an awful lot of fun with them all day long, just one fish after another. They're the sunfish of the saltwater. Here's another one. These are all small. We're gonna have to go a little bit deeper water, I think, to start finding some of the size that we can actually use for bait. Not quite 10.5 inches.
Yeah,
Probably not even 5.5.
Another fish on here.
Fun, but not what we're looking for. Oh, there you go. Get him over here before he comes off.
Keep it in the boat, Karrie-Ann.
This one will go. This is bait. This is what we're looking for. That's good. I'm going to measure it just to be safe, but he's well over 10.5. I just got to make sure. He is about 11 inches. Fish on. All right, what we're using, we're going to be 3-weighing the scup that we just caught inside out here on the reef. We're right now right on top of the reef in 45 feet of water. We're going to fall off to 50 and then 60 feet. Lately, we've been finding all the fish that we've been catching have been closer to the 50-foot range. So we start on top of the reef, work our way back down. What I'm doing is I've got a 5/0 Mustad treble hook with a number 5 barrel swivel, 50-pound fluorocarbon onto a heavy-duty Spro 3-way swivel. I'm using 30-pound PowerPro. 30 pound is plenty out here. We don't have a lot of lobster pots. We don't have a lot of boulders. We get very few break-offs. A lot of people use 50 pound, and that's fine, but I find with the 30 pound that we're able to use a little bit lighter weight when it comes to the porgy. I like to be able to keep my whole rig, my whole presentation straight up and down underneath the boat. The less weight I have to hang on to is the better. The porgy, all I'm doing is running the hook halfway between the top of the head and the dorsal, right here. That's it. Let it down, and a fish this size, the stripers have no problem inhaling right away. You'll feel that porgy running around trying to get away from the striper, and then it'll be just a good thump, and the striper's got him. Fish on. There's no hook set needed, no nothing. It's just, he's on there. We've been seeing some pretty good fish lately, so we'll see what happens. Got to put my weight on. I'm going to start, we'll see with the tide here, I'm going to start with 10 ounces. Again, we're going to be fishing all the way to 50 feet. We're drifting pretty fast right now, actually. We're already to 56 feet. So I'm dropping down now. And all I do when I come in contact with the bottom is to close the bail and take 3 cranks up off the bottom, and then I'll get it just far enough up where the stripers can see it, and far enough that the scup goes nuts trying to fight to get back into the rocks, and all that commotion is what attracts the stripers. Karrie-Ann had a bluefish. Yep.
Oh, can I still use this guy or no?
Yeah, we can still use them.
Poor little guy lost his shorts.
Here we go. Fish on. The porgy started dancing around, and then he got hit. That's what's so fun about fishing these. You can feel the porgy getting chased around. Sometimes he gets chased for 10, 15, 20 seconds, and all of a sudden, bang, fish on. Not a very big fish, but we'll take it. Come on, let's see what we got here. They get in these rips here with the current moving so fast, and they really use it to their advantage. They can pull some line. I've had some of my customers, you know, they'll tell me up front if they want to keep fish or not, and the guys that don't, we were getting some pretty big fish earlier in the year, and we were actually having to chase them down a little bit to shorten the fight up. Here she is. Try to shorten up the fight so that we could release them. But these smaller fish like this one here, these are no problem releasing them. They got plenty of energy when we're done. Good hook up right in the lip. That's another nice thing about the size porgy that we use here. They grab them so quickly. There's no time for a gut hook. You know, circle hooks are nice with eels and stuff, but I've found with these porgy, the trebles are the way to go. Let's see. About 22 and a half, almost 23 pounds. And like I said, the fish this size here are really no problem to release. Once they start holding their pectoral fins out to the side, the dorsal fin straight up, that's an alert fish. It can hold itself level instead of flopping over on its belly. She's about ready to go. There it goes. Oh, we're on. We're on. Fish on. Fish on. There it is. There it is.
Each summer season into the fall, Fouts albacore, also known as little tunny, invade the nearshore and offshore areas around New England. These members of the mackerel family offer blistering runs on light tackle, and that's just what On the Water magazine's Neal Larsson hoped for when he teamed up with Captain Eric Wilder.
Tell me a little bit about this place we're at right now.
Well, it's called the Sluiceway. This is Plum Island up here at 12 o'clock, and behind us is Great Gull Island. It's a great place for catching albies and a lot of fish, because if you have all the water running into Long Island Sound and heading back out to the ocean.
Yeah, we've just set up here and there's just fish breaking all around us. It's amazing, really amazing spot. Just saw some fish over here.
Yeah, the albies come in here and they're feeding on bay anchovies, and when we put one on here, you'll see how many they'll be spitting up.
With so many fish around, the guys tried to hook up with the fly rod, which is always a challenge with albies, but crystal clear water and almost 100 other boats competing for the same fish made a hookup elusive. So Captain Eric made a decision to move and try a new tactic and area.
We moved over to Plum Gut here. Water looks a little cloudy. It looks a little more stirred up. There's
Yeah, a little more stirred
of a rip.
Yeah, the tide works a little bit harder over here, and hopefully that'll help turn them on a little bit here. See right there, 3 o'clock?
Yep. Get there. Oh, we're on.
We're on.
Fish on.
Fish on. There it is. There it is.
Oh, they're so quick.
There we go. That's it. Look at that thing run. Whoa. Good job.
Finally figured out he was hooked.
Yeah, now that he knows he's on.
What a run. Oh, man.
Oh, did he run? Look at that. Look like he's running right back at you.
Yeah. Gotta try to keep up here.
Yeah, when they start running, even when they're coming right back at you, it's hard to keep up with them.
Yeah, here he comes. Here he comes. Coming right under us.
When he gets under here, point your rod right into the water. There you go. That's it. That's it. Oh, he's running you right around the boat.
So we came over here, the Plum Gut. There were fish at the Sluiceway, as I probably picked up on the video. There were fish all around us, left, right. I felt like a bobblehead doll, looking at all the fish. But and there were so many fish, so many boats around. The fish were split up and dispersed into smaller pods. Came over here for a little quieter action. And Captain Eric made the call.
Didn't take long after we got out here without all the fish.
Yeah, I mean.
Plus, you have a nice little breeze over here. It also helps, puts a little chop on the water. I think that helped.
Yeah, exactly.
That
water over there was really clear, and I could tell as soon as we got here, you could see kind of clouds of, looked a little cloudier over here. Some clouds of dirt mixed in or whatnot.
Yeah, the water's a little more stained over here, a little bit of a chop on the water, and I think that helped out a little bit. And not all the boats running over the fish. If you look out here, you can see a bunch more fish working on the water.
They're schooling up. It's much bigger schools of fish, I think. A little tighter. They're packed in tighter. Over there, they seem to be spread out, dispersed.
Yeah. And it looks like they might be feeding a little bit bigger fish over here. They saw You're working at top, there's some
Guy's
bigger
into
fish.
his death spiral here. Oh, what colors on this fish?
Yeah, oh, he's still not done. Look, there he goes
man.
again. There it is.
He's a big one.
Oh, that's a big albie. Woo! That's, yeah. There we go.
That is a big albie. All right, the colors on this fish, just incredible.
There we go.
Eric,
Nice job.
tell me a little bit about this, the lure that we threw here, soft plastic.
What it is, it's called a super fluke. I'm using a 3/8 jig head on it, you know, in white. I use either silver and white or white. White seems to be working better these days. That's a 4-inch. Depending on the size of the fish they're, you know, on, I'll use 4-inch or 5-inch, but this is a 4-inch.
And the bay anchovies are in and around that same size, right?
Yeah,
about
bay
now?
anchovies are a little bit smaller, but in the water, when you're ripping it through, especially in a rip like this,
It's nice to have something that'll stand out a little bit too.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, fill me in on the release. What's the preferred release? I've heard different things.
Yeah, it's
and,
see, there's the bait that he's on. You just spit
snapper
up.
blue.
A little snapper blue, yeah.
That was a little snapper blue.
That's why I said they're in a little bigger bait over here. But generally, release, instead of reviving them to send them, you hold them straight up and you just fire them straight down into the water.
Right, like this?
Just like that, and just fire them straight down into the water.
And the reason being, it pushes that oxygen, gives them
pushes the oxygen, and they're just going to take off straight down.
Okay.
As opposed to leaving them in the water.
All right, here we go. There we go. We got a follow lens on.
Oh, yeah! Oh, they're on both sides, both sides.
There we go. We got a follow lens on.
Oh, yeah! He's on.
I watched that one.
You lost it?
And bust on. He still doesn't know he's hooked yet. A little smaller than the first one. Now he realizes it.
Yeah! Oh!
I can turn him a little here, put a little finger pressure on the spool every now and again.
Running back at you?
Starting to come a little bit. Shaking his head. It's a braided line here, a very little stretch on the braided line. You can feel those head shakes as he's trying to spit this lure.
Yeah, it's nice. It gives you a good set, you know, that immediate set with
you don't
with
get
a braided line.
that line stretch, yeah.
Right about now, we're in about 40 feet of water. If you look out here, it's probably 80, 90, and then actually up to 200 feet of water. And then behind us, where you see the rip, it gets up to around 12 feet of water, which is why you see it really, as this water's coming out in this outgoing tide, you see the real defined rip line. And this, you know, as this is where the fish are feeding, as the bait fish are in here, up against the structure, and makes for some exciting fishing.
I think I got him.
Boy, it almost looks like he's foul hooked. No,
Yeah.
you got him in the mouth.
Looks like
Just the way he's fighting the current. Here we go. Oh, there it is.
Hey, we've had a great day here in Plum Gut down here in Connecticut, fishing for false albacore with Captain Eric Wilder. And this fish breaking off the bows. I'm gonna release this guy. We'll see you later. I'm gonna get back at it though.
Thanks for watching On the Water Magazine's Fishing New England. If you'd like to learn more about today's show, visit onthewater.com. I'm Jay Baver, and we'll see you on the water.